There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good afternoon, everyone. So welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing League. We are live today at Lyceum-Northwestern University. So today we will be joined by speakers from Cognizant and PXI Global. But before we start, may we invite everybody for a short prayer. Welcome, guys. So, are we ready? So, I'm Shari from Academic Languages. I will be today's host. And as usual, please comment your name and course, and later type in your questions so we can answer them after each speaker's talk. So, wag din kayong mahiya mag-share to your friends. Ayan. So, here's our schedule for this afternoon. So, our first topic is ResumeLink to be discussed by jobtraining.com. Next, we will do virtual interviews by Cognizant Technology Solutions. And last topic for this afternoon is expectations of the new normal work environment. Ayan. So please tag your friends and tell them that we are starting. Ayan. So please shout out to everybody who is here. So please comment your name and course, yun lang, para alam namin kung sino yung audience namin, no? So let's go to our first speaker. So our first presenter for this afternoon is Sir Kim Chua. So he is the managing director of jobswinning.com, and he has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. He is a trusted resource speaker, and he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 colleges and universities nationwide. So Sir Kim, if you're ready, the floor is yours.
Afternoon, everyone. Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan ang tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number one, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala tong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay? More than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely, wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, mayroon kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot, pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay? Wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, wag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eldiablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So sayang lang. So you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpleto ang detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay, lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR, kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot, lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So, ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So, I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Hindi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or anong mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating ko sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gano'n karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo, just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa dalawang lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung dalawa. Kung dalawa lang talaga alam nyo, din dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Chabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. Now, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So, yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma. Diba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan. Ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede kang mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase. Same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum. Pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat. Walang experience sa trabaho. How will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay. Ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, i-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, yung mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda yung sample yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng ganun kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Yung sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Diba? Halimbawa, o sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na Akit Bahigang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pag nakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan. Blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat yung gawin at hindi yung dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything. From top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto kanya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Diba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design? Diba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin? Wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do you do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, diba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay? Lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay? Huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon, by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik, hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year, ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala nang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position, and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan. Tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Anong gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O, di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No, maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante lang ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number one, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganun. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo. Especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool, please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. First, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs on 80, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it. Enter, save it. Real-time update. Lahat ng bigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, 'di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Edi balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. 'Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay, again, my name is Kim Chu Wa. Don't forget yung Wa. Okay, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo na nagsasabing be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Sir Kim. So if you're there, can you please join us for the question and answer? Sorry, wala pala si Sir Kim. All right, so he's been on another meeting, so I will answer your questions. So, question from Sir Rodel Fulgencio. Good afternoon, sir. Applicable po ba ang Jobs Unity website sa international market or local market only? And so, Sir Rodel, anywhere na may functioning internet yung company, they will be able to view your resume links na yung ginawa mong account kay jobs180.com. So, makikita nila yan subject to the privacy settings that you did, no? As for the vacancies naman in the site, so there are different companies with different vacancies. Right now, ang pina-prioritize natin yung mga local vacancies. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga direct hires, no? Dito ka sa Philippines mag-a-apply, dito ka rin sa Philippines na job mapupunta. Ayan. So yun yung prioritize natin right now. All right, next question from Sir Daz Otyugnem. So I'm Dev Accept. Yes, sir. There are vacancies po for PWDs for companies po. They are open and they're willing to hire. So I think it would just depend on your specialty and on your discipline, on your industry po, and dun sa industry, dun sa position, dun sa vacancy na available doon sa company. Yun. So we hope we answered your questions. So any more questions? Ayan. So thank you. Ayan. So in any case, if you guys are shy to ask now, there will be other speakers for the rest of the event. So you can ask them later din naman dun sa mga questions nyo. So, para sa mga questions na tanong nyo for jobsandme.com, you can send it via Facebook message. Alright? So, meron kami customer support team that is prepared to answer your concerns. Alright? So, let's go to our second speaker. So, our second speaker is Sir Mark Aurelio. So he is the HR Junior Executive for Cognizant Technology Solutions. And Sir Mark graduated from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines in 2015 with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Human Resource Development Management. He joined Cognizant fresh from college as senior coordinator for the talent acquisition group and has progressed as a campus and events channel lead, taking on junior and executive functions. So, a young and dynamic HR professional, Sir Mark has been recognized during the 2017 Gawad Silab Awards as Rookie of the Year, 2018 High Club Awards, and 2019 Regional HR Gem Awards for going beyond boundaries. So, Sir Mark, if you're there, please join us. Oh, sorry. So, one moment, we just run into a technical difficulty. We will be playing a short commercial, short video. So, for a while, guys, we will be back to fix all of this. All right.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com and click Register now. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and is easy to recall by potential employers, and fill out the other information needed.
After you register, go to your email address and validate your jobs180.com account to activate.
Step 2. Complete your resume link. When creating your resume link, make sure to complete your personal and contact information, your profile picture, and your cover photo. You can also put your objectives, work options, work experience, certifications, achievements, skills and languages, references, and portfolio. Your resume link also features different themes and a cover photo. Step 3. Submit your resume link. If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link, or you can even share the job vacancy with your friends. You can also apply for jobs outside jobs180.com by sending your resume link through any platform. Register. Complete. Submit your resume link. So what are you waiting for? Turn your life around by creating your own resume link and applying for your dream job.
There are 3 easy steps in creating a resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Ayan. So we apologize for the delay. We're just waiting for the next speaker. So hi, Sir Kim. So Sir Kim, while we're waiting for Sir Mark, yan. So Sir, let's just pull in a couple of questions, and we know that our audience today, matututo naman sila sa mga questions na prepare natin. Ayan. So Sir, so first question. So Sir, ako na naghanda ng mga question na to. So Sir, ano po yung mga information na critical kapag nagsiscreen yung HR ng mga resumes? Ano po yung unang titignan? Ano yung kailangan hindi mawawala doon sa resumes nila?
Okay, I'm speaking based on my experience as an HR. When I look at the person's resume or resume link, definitely ang hinahanap natin dyan, yung skills. Yan yung una. Now, if you're wondering paano kung fresh grads, no, walang any work experience, okay lang, iba na may work experience sa skills eh. 'Di ba? So ano yung mga skills na meron mo na tingin ng HR applicable dun sa trabahong papasukan mo. Now, in my personal preference then, I would look for someone who's nearer dun sa office. No, yan yung sa akin, no. I'll try to look for yung location kasi ang lugar niya yan, halimbawa, tapos yung opening natin nasa may Laguna, 'di ba? Medyo okay lang kung doon yung home residence, no? Pero paano kung doon talaga siya nakatira right now? So medyo mahirap sa travel 'yan. So yan yung isang item na tinitingnan ko rin. Now, aside from those information, very important that you have to have an updated contact details. Kasi yung mga HR, ano lang yun basic screening lang naman when they look at your profile. Nagkakaalaman pa rin yan kapag nakausap na kayo, pag na-interview kayo. Now, the thing is, paano kayo kakausapin ng HR pag hindi mo nahuli attention? Diba? So, kaya dapat, sunod-sunod yan Una, huli mo attention. Pag nahuli mo attention, titingnan nila, ay, paano natin ito kukontakin? First thing the HR will do, they'll contact you. They'll try to reach you sa phone, they'll try to text you, they'll try to email you. Pag hindi mo pa rin yun sinagot, hindi mahaba masyado ang patience ng lahat ng HR. Sometimes, kahit gaano kagaling aplikante, pag hindi makausap at hindi mahagilap ng HR yung aplikante, they'll have to take a pass and move forward to the next applicant and maybe come back na lang again kapag nakatapos na sila ng siguro ilang interviews pa later on, 'di ba? And good luck kung wala pa sila naka-interview na okay. Kasi pag meron na, baka mamaya hindi ka na mabalikan. So, yun para sa akin, to answer your question lang, Ma'am Shari, importante po yung skills ninyo, yung contact details nyo. Yan yung dalawang item na kung akong tatanungin, yan yung dalawang item na wag nyong i-miss out sa inyong information sheet or sa inyong resume link. Yan.
Yeah. So, thank you for that, sir. So, next question po. Sir, ano po yung turnaround time for application? So, kunyari po, nag-apply ako today. So, today ay Thursday. So, kailan ko po i-deadline yung sarili ko? Sa gantong araw.
Huwag ka na umasa kasi hindi ka pa tinatawagan.
Mag-apply ako, ganon.
Oo.
Parang ganon. So, for both for sir, for fresh grads and for experienced employees. So gaano katagal yung lead time or mga expectation na nilalaro ng HR
Okay,
or
sige.
kumbaga yung
I think I understand your question. For eto again, I'm putting practical application here. So guys, those who are listening, kung kayo ay wala pang trabaho, never nagkaroon ng work, hindi kayo makarelate, di ba? Matuto sana kayo sa sasabihin ko. Sa mga nakapag-apply na ng trabaho at nakapag-experience na ng interview process, makakarelate kayo sa mga ikukwento ko sa inyo. So, there are two parts here. One is you are applying, okay? The other one is nakausap mo na yung interviewer. So, doon muna tayo sa nag-apply kayo. When you start to submit your application, sa totoo lang, hindi ko masasagot yung time frame. Because some companies, you can submit now, they will process your information maybe after a week or two. Diba? May iba ganon. Sometimes naman, pasadong-pasado ka, qualified na qualified ka, ang kaso lang, wala silang active position. Example. Or mayroon din scenario, pasadong-pasado ka, active yung position, kaso lang, 3 kayo na pagpipilian nila. Diba? So, ano mangyayari? Isa lang yung vacant position, 3 kayo, so mamimili sila ngayon. Diba? Do, re, mi. Sino kaya sa 3 to yung pipiliin nila? So, yan yung scenario kapag ikay nag-a-apply pa lang. Now, in terms of answering yung question ni Ma'am Shari, how long should you prepare yourself or at least anticipate, diba? In terms of gaano katagal kaya ako sasagutin ng kumpanyang ina-applyan ko, alam mo sa totoo lang parang panliligaw yan eh, 'di ba? So sa mga lalaki diyan o sa mga girls, 'di ba? Pagka kayo ay nagpaparamdam sa inyo yung mga boys, 'di ba? At hindi kayo nagbibigay ng senyales, depende yan, no? Kung porsigido pa rin yung aplikante talaga doon sa kumpanya, you just wait. And while you wait, you continue to apply to other companies. O, yun nga lang yung pagkakaiba sa pag-ibig, no? Hindi yung habang naliligaw ka ng isa, maligaw ka ng 5 pang iba. At maunahan na lang kung sino una sumagot sa'yo. Hindi ko sinasabing ganon. I'm talking about application here. So what I recommend is you submit your information, you give yourself about 2 weeks. Okay? I hope in 2 weeks time, the company, especially sa scenario ngayon sa pandemic, marami pong mga companies naka-skeletal, marami po sa kanila ngayon hindi makapag full load, no, in terms of yung work nila. So give yourself 2 weeks, no, in terms of them to at least give you a feedback. Kung sinagot ka nila sa email or naka-receive ka ng call, edi good. Diba? Then I'll tell you about the next steps na. Pero sa pag-aantay lang, normally give it about 2 weeks to about a month. Okay, so while you're waiting, continue to submit your information to more companies that you want to be part of. Okay, wag yung apply ka sa isa, tapos aantayin mo, pag anong sagot, tsaka kayo mag-apply sa next. Wag ganon. Ang recommend ko, kung anong gusto mong mga companies na pasukan or mga positions, continue to submit your information. Especially right now, wala namang bayad ang mag-apply online, di ba? Use the technology to your advantage. At wala namang mawawala rin sa inyo kapag kayo ay nag-apply ng mas maraming companies. Okay? Magkaiba naman yan sa in-accept nyo yung maraming companies. Ibang usapan yon. Okay, ito at least nag-apply ka pa lang. Now, the other thing I want to address is kapag kayo ay na-interview na. Ayan, ito yung sinasabi kong marunong tayo ngayon magbasa ng sitwasyon. Because in our culture, in HR culture, I cannot speak for all companies, but in normally, I would say as Filipinos, tayo pong mga Pinoy, ano nangyari po sa atin, ang hirap mag-reject ng tao. You will say the no, but you don't say the word no, but you say it in about maybe 101 ways. Pero yung gusto mo sabihin is no. So ano yung mga sample dyan? Pag na-interview kayo na-apply ng HR, and then they'll tell you, you will just be waiting for a call na lang po, or we will advise you later on, diba? Pag wala sila binigyan na time frame, chances are, nandun ka na sa leaning towards the no side. Okay? So, marunong kayo dapat magbasa or kumapa sa sitwasyon. Now, ang recommend ko naman dun sa pag-aantay nyo, mabuti nang mag-antay na may tamang time frame. Okay, pwede nyo naman pong tanungin ng maayos. Be polite when you ask the interviewer during your interview about may I know po what is the next steps, 'di ba? How parang ano po yung magiging process so that I'll be able to at least, 'di ba, prepare myself in terms of how long or how many days or how many weeks will I be waiting, 'di ba? If you tell me this position will be processed in about 2 months time. So that means in 2 months time tsaka ka maka-receive ng feedback, then at least alam mo na yung period na yun is 2 months. 'Di ba? Ganun yung gusto ko ngayon i-share sa inyo. Huwag kayo na mag-go lang na mag-go dun sa mga nagsasabi ng mga HR lalo na I will just call you. You just wait for a call. So, okay lang naman. Yes, of course, you have to wait for a call. But please ask them politely. May I know lang po like ano po yung time frame for me to prepare to wait for that call. 'Di ba? Para pag sinabi niya, oh, you wait for 2 weeks or 2 days, edi okay lang. At least alam mo, 2 weeks, 2 days. Kung 2 months pa yan, edi 2 months yan. Diba? That's at least how I recommend you do it. Okay? So, ganun. I hope nasagot ko yung tanong. Ma'am Shari?
Yes, sir. Sir, we have another question here from Rodel Fulgencio. So, sir,
Rodel.
follow-up question from earlier. I'm graduating po ako this year and pwede ba ako mag-create ng account sa site para makita sa international market? For example, Kaiser Permanent in future applications. Umuwi lang po ako dito para mag-aral.
Yes, of course. Sir Rodel, and sa lahat na nakikinig, ito pong resume link, you can use this anywhere else. Hindi lang po ito pang Pilipinas. Okay, you can use this whether kung saan country ka man later on pupunta, you can use that resume link. Ang importante po is yung bibigyan nyo ng resume link, meron pong internet connection para may type sa browser niya. Ganun lang po kasimple. No? I'll share a scenario. A few years back, matagal-tagal na rin, we had one student who shared to us a parang experience of her using a resume link. So what she did, she was on vacation in Dubai. No, wala talaga siyang kaplano-plano magkap na trabaho, nandun lang siya for a vacation over the Christmas break. Noong time na yun, malubog pa yung travel, wala pang COVID. So ano nangyari? Pagdating doon, napunta siya sa isa sa mga hotels doon and then she just happened to see a sign that says we're hiring. So siya naman nagbabaka sakali lang, no? Ano siya hotel and tourist HRM yung course niya. And then what happened to her was that she was already there. Nag-ano lang siya, nagbaka sakali lang, no? She knocked at the door. I'm just assuming she knocked at the door and then asked kung anong opportunity meron. Tinanong siya kagad nung HR, sabi sa kanya, "Oh, since you're already here, maybe we can already invite you for an interview. Do you have a resume?" So siya nagulat siya, parang syempre hindi siya prepared. Buti na lang, sabi niya, meron siyang resume link. Ayan, so sabi niya, I have something that you can check on. Tapos binigay niya yung link niya. So nagulat yung HR, sabi niya, "Oh, you're very prepared." Diba nung tinype niya yung resume link na dun sa, of course, I don't know kung sa computer, sa tablet, kung saan man tinype, o baka sa phone lang niya tinype. Nakita niya yung profile ng aplikante. Now, fast forward, 3 months later, no, that was December. 3 months later, after niya nagbakasyon, nag-graduate na siya, na-hire na siya doon, bumalik na siya. So, she was sending us that message na buti na lang, meron siyang nagawang resume link, kahit na hindi pa siya graduate nung time na yon because it was very useful. No? Of course, I'm also promoting na rin dahil nangyari yun sa kanya, it could also happen to you. It could. Diba? Kaya kung ako sa inyo, I'm really doing a shout out for everyone who's listening. Tell this to your friends, to your relatives, lalo na po sa inyo, sa mga nakikinig ngayon, gumawa na kayo ng resume link. Wala naman mawawala. There's more to gain. Diba? There's nothing to lose, but there's more to gain. Diba? So yan lang. At least may ready na kayong backup. Ready na. Okay?
Alright. Thank you for that, Sir Kim. So I was advised Sir Mark is already at the backstage. So
okay.
let's proceed with Sir Mark's presentation.
Okay, maraming salamat.
Salamat
po.
po.
Okay.
Thank you, Sir Kim, para sa pagsalo sa atin, no? Alright. So for Sir Mark, so he will be presenting virtual interviews. That's his topic. So he graduated from PUP back in 2015 with a degree in Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration, major in Human Resource Development Management. He joined Cognizant fresh from college as senior coordinator for the Talent Acquisition Group and has progressed as campus and events channel lead, taking on junior executive functions. So he is young and dynamic, HR professional, and Sir Mark has been recognized during the 2017 Gawad Silab Awards as Rookie of the Year, 2018 High Club Awards, and 2019 Regional HR Gem Awards for going beyond boundaries. So Sir Mark, if you're there, please join us. Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi, hi, Shari. Good
Thank you for
afternoon. Can
being
you
with
hear me?
us, sir. Ayan. So, sir, medyo pressed for time na po kami. So, let's
Mhm.
continue on with your presentation na po. Pa-full screen na lang po
Sure,
ako, sir.
sure, sure.
Yan. Yan, sir. So, it's there na po. It's up. So, Sir Mark, I will leave you to it. I'll be back po for the Q&A 20 minutes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shari. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Guys and gals, did you enjoy ba yung last 4 days ng weekdays nyo? How do you feel na tomorrow, Friday na, and pahinga na ba or busy-busyhan pa? Okay. So, all right, guys and gals, can you type 1 if you can hear me? Kung okay yung audio ko. Can you type 1 in the chat box? Delay ata yung response. Well, anyway, all right, no? Kung okay yung audio ko, let's get into this. Grab a pen or a notepad. I will try my best to assist you in the transition to remote work. I'll present recommendations that help everyone succeed in this new normal. So, Mark here, no, I have been a recruiter for 5 years now. And in those years, I have learned a thing or two about hiring and getting hired. Now, I'm here to share what I know with you. So if that sounds good, can you type good in the chat box, in the comment box section? Type good kung nakakasunod kayo. Okay, daming participants. All right. Okay, thank you, Joanne, for typing good in the comment box section. Okay, let's proceed. So I'm also here to help you understand about Cognizant. I'm here. I'm going to show you Cognizant growth and credentials, and I hope that you will find them as helpful as they have. So to start, Cognizant is a market leader and was founded in 1994. We are a US-based company, specifically in Teaneck, New Jersey, which have 283,000 employees. So Cognizant is a leading provider of information technology, consulting, and business process outsourcing. So in terms of BPS or business process services, uh, we have delivery centers or we have big global footprints. So when we say big, we have delivery centers or we have global offices. So we, as of now, we have 270 plus global offices. Okay. We also support um, all operations in the regions. So we also support our clients using different languages. So we hire Arabic, Korean, Mandarin, Japanese speakers. And also, guys, despite of the global pandemic situation, we were able to increase our revenue by 4% year over year. So imagine guys, pandemic na yon, but we were able to increase our revenue pa, diba? So I suggest talaga if you are if you are okay or if you are ready na to apply, I'm not discouraging to apply to local companies, but if you have um, the capabilities or if you want to proceed with multinational companies, go for it. Okay. So next, who among you here are familiar with Fortune 500? Can you type familiar in the chat box? Can you comment familiar or not familiar? If you're not familiar with Fortune 500. Okay. All right. So Fortune 500, for those individuals that are not familiar, Fortune 500 is an annual list uh, published and compiled by Fortune magazine, wherein they rank the top 500 companies of the largest U.S. corporations in terms of revenue. So back in 2013, Cognizant ranks in 352. And as we combined our passion for client satisfaction and technology innovation, we were able to take the 194th spot last year. Okay. And what I'm trying to say here is Cognizant is a stable company and we're growing. Okay. At the same time, we are one of the most admired companies in 2020 in 12 years in a row. Okay. Also, we are top 533 in Forbes Global 2000 and top 63 in top 100 digital companies in 2019. So that was published by Forbes. Okay. So I could see that there are some of you that are not familiar with Fortune 500, and I'm happy to share it with you for additional information. So that's the top 500 companies in US in terms of revenue. All right. So let me ask you guys, are you ready to find the job of your dreams in 2021? Can you type ready in the comment box section if you're ready? Okay, just type ready if you're ready to find the job of your dreams. Okay, so if you're ready, well, if you're going to need to know everything about working from home. Why is that? Because it looks like many workers will continue to have the option to work from home permanently because of the virus. So after the virus, the world is going to be quite uh, the world is going to be quite different. So you will notice now how education, health, shopping, and internet, entertainment and businesses transform to virtual. So in our case, we have strengthened our capabilities uh, in in conducting recruitments using technology. So such as using web conferencing platforms. So if you will apply for Cognizant, you don't need to go to the office. What we're going to do is we will send you a link wherein you could sign up, and then you will receive an email for your schedule of your interview. Then we'll do it virtually. Okay. So and this is the new trend now, everyone, and we will continue even na bumalik pa yung situation natin after the COVID pandemic, 'di ba? So we are seeing in the near future na magi-stay yung gantong setup. So work from home. Go. So therefore, for you guys, for new aspirants, students or professionals looking to switch jobs, it is very crucial now to get acquainted with working from home. So in this presentation, I'll give you top 3 tips for successful home working in 2021. So sit down, guys, and listen to all the way to the end, as this might be the most important presentation that you've heard this year. Okay. So before we get into this, I want to define a word. I want to define the word here because it might be new to you. So the term is remotopia. What is remotopia? It simply means remote work. So or working from home. So let's talk about remotopia. Can you type remotopia in the chat box or comment box section? Para mas madali nating maalala in case na type remotopia. Okay. So Remotopia is the most futuristic place in the world. Bakit no? Kasi from right at your home or where from right at your home, pwede ka makapunta sa ibang lugar, di ba? So, wherever Wi-Fi takes you. But this is not a new development in the wake of COVID-19, no? And it just pop up or just up in the last few years. Because in the last it was in last 30 years ago, it was already predicted by Jack Attali, where rich nomads will travel down will travel down the world looking for the new for the next gig or for the um, next businesses. So thankfully, right now, because wag naman, well, siguro yung advantage na lang ng COVID-19 is yung working from home, hindi na lang siya parang pang mayaman. But it can also, it reaches also our middle class or low class employees. So, dati 'di ba, mayayaman lang yung nagwo-work from home from beaches of Boracay, beaches of Palawan, or kung saan man lugar. Ngayon, any anyone na have the capabilities of internet, may laptop, can do working from home. And I'd like to share it with you then na last month we were able to launch a new project wherein we hire candidates from Bataan, but they were all working from home. So they will be based in our site in NCR, but you will be working from home in Bataan. So I that is a very successful project that we have launched last month. That we hired 30 to 50 applicants or individuals for these roles in Bataan. So they'll be working from home now. So I also this for since we're talking about working from home, I asked one of my teammates that has been working from home for years now kasi ilan taon na ba yung pandemic? Padalawang taon na ata. So ayun, padalawang taon na din. Like me, I also do working from home. Inask ko siya what Remotopia has been like for her. So she said that the thing that she liked the most about working remotely are the opportunities to put balance between her work and life. And the thing that I like the most about working remotely is I can work anywhere. For example, in this room, this is the best place for thinking a solution to any problem because it's quiet. So I do it best with a cup of coffee. I also learned where I work best, and that helped me to have very flexible and fluid lifestyle while working from home. Okay, so enough of the introduction about working from home. Now let's proceed with the top 3 tips in having a successful working from home in 2021. So tip number 1 would be the headphone or microphone check. Okay, or this might be a tip in doing or prior to attending your first interview in a virtual environment. Okay, so tip number 1, microphone check. There's a technical component you need to prepare as well, diba? Aside from doing the preparing for the most most asked questions, interview questions. Aside from doing your homework in preparing for those questions, there's a technical component. Okay, so before you work or you attend a meeting or an interview, you have an ample time to test your microphones and headphones to make sure that it's working before you actually begin your work or before you actually begin your interview. So take advantage of the opportunity to test because you'll never know. You may need to update your existing web conferencing platform or update a software. Okay, so you'll never know what might happen. So you make sure you test in advance. Okay, So let me just give you an example, guys. We have an applicant. Um, I think that was two weeks ago, wherein she's ranting about taking the Versant exam again because his Wi-Fi or he has he's encountering an internet network issue. So um, that's not in our case that's not our problem because in as an applicant you should check in advance you should make sure you test in advance your Wi-Fi, your microphone or your headset prior to joining an interview. So in our case we cannot let him to take again the exam. So what I'm trying to say here is you make sure you test in advance because everyone can say na nagkaroon sila ng problem sa Wi-Fi kaya sila nag-fail. So if you will allow that reason, all of the candidates that will fail the test will just say na I have an internet connection problem, 'di ba? So my tip would be test in advance. Okay. So let's proceed with tip number two. It's prepare for your work environment. Okay. So you need to prepare your work environment. You need to be cognizant of what's in the background, what kind of noise you might hear, and how the acoustics are in the room. Diba? So may maingay ba sa work environment mo? May bata ba? May naghahabulan ba na yung 3 years old mong kapatid? So you might want to check in advance din to prepare your environment. So you'll never know. This might be one of the requirements that employers are checking before your job offer. Okay. So in our case, some of our clients they ask for a home tour, diba? For your work environment. Bigla ka nilang i-ano no, i-ask for a home tour kung di ka ready. So, 'di ba instant YouTuber ka pa kung magkaroon ng home tour sa bahay mo. So, you need to prepare your work environment in this new normal or we can say better normal, okay? Okay, kidding aside, no. So let's proceed. If you are using a mobile device, a mobile phone or a tablet, I strongly recommend that you don't try to handhold it. For example, may meeting kayo or may interview kayo, huwag niyo lang hawakan kasi kung recording ba to, recording video ba to? Kasi some of the companies are asking for a recorded video wherein you need to answer a series of questions. Yun yung type ng screening nila. So don't try to handhold the the camera or the phone. So I suggest you buy a um, yung mobile stand, diba? So kasi pag hinawakan nyo yun, the video is going to be shaky, diba? So I suggest you buy a mobile stand. So you might want to check online shops for the inexpensive mobile stand. My mobile stand that I bought from the hardware, I bought it in the department store. It cost me 299 pesos only. So and only it comes with a ring light na. So okay din na mag-invest tayo sa mga gantong accessories. Okay? So the main purpose naman of the ring light is to lessen yung to lessen yung shadow tapos ma-diffuse yung it diffuse light evenly. So on the subject, for example, yung sa'yo, di ba? And because of its ability to distribute light so evenly, it is great for video. So kunwari may interview ka, final interview mo tapos ang dilim ng room mo, di ba? So as I've mentioned, it's you need to prepare your work environment kasi right now, since working from home na tayo, it's the one of the requirements employers are looking for is the work environment. So kapag nag-final interview ka, you make sure na okay yung work environment or your background mo. Or kung hindi naman, maglagay ka na lang ng background na image yung sa likod mo. Okay? So, what I'm trying to say here is you don't necessarily need naman you don't necessarily need to buy this, no, or need this. But if you can afford 299 pesos, I think it's worth the expense. Okay. Okay, let's proceed to it's time to move on the tip number 3. That would be dress for the task. Okay, so in general, most employers won't care what you are wearing when you work from home, diba? Kasi as long as nang you get the work done, okay na yun. And besides, taking a few days naman to stay cozy can be good for your mental health, diba? So kunyari, may araw na you don't feel like wearing a office attire, so that's okay. But if you will have or you will have your final interview, I suggest na you go for smart casual attire, diba? So okay. So my work from home style, siguro I can share na my work from home style is business on top and pajama na sa baba. And that's okay lang as long as you kunwari nang wala naman kayong presentation that you need to stand up. That's okay. Business casual sa taas, okay na 'yon. But as I mentioned, if you feel like dressing na kasama yung kayo ng pants, that's okay. If you feel good about it, then go for it. Okay? Okay. So it should be tip number 4, no. So last tip would be do anything you can to avoid distraction. So in order, guys, to optimize your productivity, it is imperative that you try to reduce distractions as much as possible. Kasi for example, in this picture, parang imagine this, guys. You are on the last questions. You are on the last question of a recorded video interview. Nasa tingin mo maganda na yung resulta on the beginning of your interview, and then last question na no recorded interview mo, pumasok yung kapatid mo. You can see may background siya dyan. Or kapatid mo or yung pinsan mo na 3-year-old, tapos nang gulo sa'yo, di ba? So, that's a hassle. Kasi you cannot, for a recorded video interview, I think you cannot submit it kung nang gumagamit kayo ng software ng company. So as much as possible, guys, do anything you can to avoid distraction. So you might want to lock your room para wala makapasok na baby man yan or yung pinsan nyo na 3-year-old. Tapos mag-wander siya dun sa room, no? So it can happen and it does happen if you don't take any precaution to minimize distraction. So, it will happen. Wag mo lang hayaang mangyari sa'yo. Okay? So, that would be all. That would be the virtual interview tips for me. If you took nothing of this presentation, take this, everyone, guys and girls. Number 1, minimize your distraction and start doing whatever you have to do to become more comfortable in camera today. Okay? Kasi, business is going to be more and more remote. more and more presentations will be done on camera, and being comfortable in camera is going to be an important skill in 2021. Okay, so I think that would be all. Thank you guys for listening. If you guys learned a thing or two, can you type fantastic in the comment box section kung may natutunan kayo? Can you type
Fantastic.
Yun!
Thank you, sir. Ayan. So, sir, I'm back. Ayan. So, sir, thank you po for the tips that you shared. Ako din, sir, I agree, no? Being comfortable in front of the camera for presentations, for interview, that's the next big skill of 2021 and 2020, no? So, yan yung mga fina-fine-tune natin na skill mga ngayong panahon, no? Alright, sige, sir.
Correct,
So,
correct.
guys, we are open for questions for Sir Mark. So, sir, ito lang yung question ko. So, can you share with us yung vacancies and openings kung saan po pwede mag-apply yung mga graduates or alumni ni Lyceum Northwestern University? And if so, ano po yung mga position?
Okay. Let me share again my screen. No? I think I forgot to share the last slide. Para Ayan. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Kita ko po.
Ayan. All right. Okay. For those students or graduating students na you want to know more about the cognizant careers, you might want to check on our Jobs 180 account. That would be jobs180.com/cognizantph or Philippines. And for those naman na students na hindi pa available or not ready to for their first job or for their first interview, you can sign up on our Cognizant Campus community, wherein we update you, we send you email for the available openings that we are currently hiring. So right now, we are hiring for customer service representatives for our retail account. We are hiring for Philippine registered nurses, U.S. registered nurses, registered pharmacies. And what's good about Cognizant and for BPO is we don't discourage any courses as long as you finish second year college with no back subjects. We can definitely process your application with in Cognizant. So any courses will do. You might want to apply for our customer service roles, IT help desk, service desk analyst position. And I know that in your school, no, there are students na has or um, merong skill to speak other languages. So as I've mentioned in the earlier stage of my presentation, we're hiring for Korean, Mandarin, Japanese speakers, Arabic. So if you guys are one of those students or applicants that can you know how to read and write a specific language, feel free to visit our Facebook page, Cognizant Philippines.
All right. So thank you for that, Sir Mark. Ayan. So thank you, sir, for being with us this afternoon. We hope that we have you again po in the future sessions that we'll be having with other schools. So thank you again, sir, for your time. Have a great day po. Stay safe,
Thank
sir.
you, everyone.
Ayan. So, thank you, Sir Mark, for being with us. So, if you have more questions, guys, don't be shy to put it in our comment section, or you can send it over to us on Facebook. Yan. So, sa page namin. Alright? So, let's go to our final speaker for this afternoon. So, our speaker is Miss Chrissy Tioxon. She is a Talent Acquisition Officer for BXA Holdings, and she is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education from Technological Institute of the Philippines. She has 8 years of work experience in the field of BPO, talent acquisition, which led her to a stint with VXI Global Holdings as a talent acquisition officer. So with this role, she is responsible for talent acquisition internal sourcing strategies, such as referral programs and employee engagement. So Miss Chrissy, if you're there, please join us. Hi, ma'am.
Hi,
Ganyan
hi,
lang.
Shari. Nice
Ayan.
to see
So
you
ma'am,
again.
I was told you have a short EB ano ba to? Video presentation?
Yes, before I go on with my topic, I'd like to introduce BXI. So please, by the way, good afternoon, everyone. Lyceum Northwestern University. Thank you so much for having us here, and Jobs 180 as well. It's always a pleasure. Um, please see our video before I go with my presentation.
Ayan. So Miss Chrissy, please share your screen na po so we can proceed with your presentation.
Gotcha.
Is it loading, ma'am?
Can you see my screen now?
Wala pa po, ma'am. Ayan, ma'am. Loading na siya, ma'am. Ma'am, paano lang po sa presentation nyo? Nasa, ano po kayo? Nasa browser po kayo ngayon.
All right. Can you see my screen now?
Hang on, ma'am, ha? Hindi siya
I have
nag-change, ma'am. Can you go back to sharing it po? Para baka glitch lang po siya.
Yeah.
Yung,
Hang on.
yung,
Um, hold on. Sorry about that. How about now? Can you see my screen?
loading lang siya, ma'am. Ayan, ma'am. It's up na po. So, ma'am, I'll leave you to it. I'll be back for the Q&A. Thank
All
you,
right.
ma'am.
Thank you very much, Sherry. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. So again, thank you so much for having us here. And my topic for today would be expectations in the new normal work environment. So we have been hearing new normal a lot this past couple of months. It was, I think, March last year when we had our lockdown. And since then, it's been a year now. And we have been coping with many ways on how to do or how we can continue on with life despite this pandemic. And of course, the workplace setup um, did not did not uh, stay on those dilemmas, but instead integrated new ways on how to cope with this new normal setup. So I think by the time that I finish this sentence, I've said new normal a couple of times. But what is new normal really? So new normal is defined. All right. New normal is a new English expression that describes the way people will live their lives during and after the coronavirus outbreak. So maraming mga bagay na we thought, were impossible back then, but I think the thing that I have, the best takeaway that we have from this pandemic is that we are all very adaptive in every situation. So provided that there's lockdown, provided we're not allowed to see each other like in big gatherings anymore, people have integrated the ways on how they can live their lives during and after the coronavirus. So there were many ways, such as we started with having um, quarantine passes. That's one of the things that we had in the new normal. Back then, labas. If you want to go out, do what you want, it's all okay. But now you have to check on guidelines if you are gonna be if a certain establishment is allowed to operate at a certain time, or if the offices are allowed to have their employees come in to work. There are so many things that we check now. Pero I think um that's why the reason why it's called new normal is because those are things that we haven't gotten used to doing. But when we started doing that and living with it, we realized it's not a big deal. Like wearing face mask. Back then when it started, parang everybody's like, mahirap huminga, nangangati yung ilong ko sa face mask. But now everybody's doing it. And it's not a bad thing, right? We have all adapted to the system. And now the workplace has done that too, to make sure that life goes on both for the employers and employees. Right. Now, um one of the new normals, one of the things that have added into our into the workplace is the safety is a top priority. It has always been, mind you. I There are a lot of companies that would have a lot of signages on how to keep yourself safe, but right now the safety is top priority, pertaining to the protocols that we follow um, to prevent the spread of COVID-19. So first thing, definitely no face mask, no face shield, no entry. If you will be applying to companies or any, if you're going to be going to any establishment right now, it's automatic that we're all going to be wearing face mask and face shield, which we did not used to do back then before the pandemic, right? And before you go to work, once you're in the building, once you arrive in the building, you'll be checked if you have face mask and face shield, and there will be body checking of body temperature and filling out a health declaration form upon entry to the office premises. Back then, walang ganon. When you go to work, sometimes if you're running late, an employee would be rushing from the door going to the station and logging in, right? But right now, an employee must make sure to come in a little earlier kasi there will be checking of body temperature, and you have to fill out the form that says if you have you been exposed to, have you traveled, have you been exposed to someone with fever or COVID-19 symptoms. So you have to, as an employee, you have to allocate time for that. So that's one of the changes. Hindi na pwede yung some days that you would have to be running to make it on time, like what do you call that, I can't remember, but I'll think about it. If you know the answer, you can you can click on the link. Next is no touch hand sanitizer dispensers will become very common. I'd like to speak for for where I work. In VXI, we always had this hand sanitizers. However, um ako as an employee, since wala pang pandemic back then, I kind of take it for granted. Yung parang dadaanan ko lang siya. But now it's everybody's priority and must do. Kapag dadaan ka sa hallways, you have to make sure that you sanitize your hands. And what I'm saying is, it's not that these sanitizers are just deployed this time. I guess they've been around for the longest time, but we have been taking it for granted. Like me, na minsan pagdaan ko, I forget to sanitize my hands. But because of the pandemic, we make sure to always wash our hands, and then there's a sanitizer near every station where people would, would common areas would people be passing by. Okay. And number four, integration of sensor doors and elevator buttons, and the improvement of other commonly touched areas in the office. So, dahil nga we are trying to spread we all try to prevent the spread of COVID-19. We want to make sure that those commonly touched areas such as doorknobs dapat hindi na siya um hindi na siya, I mean, it's sanitized regularly or it's replaced with something more high tech. So you would explain you can expect the workplace right now to integrate this new technology. And I'm not sure about you, but sa in our company, the button is sensor sensitive, so you don't have to touch the buttons. And you can see this, many companies would adopt to this too, because again, we have to make sure that everyone is safe from the virus. So apart from the basic things that we have to know, um, in the workplace, there are also other preventative measures that that the companies are doing to make sure na hindi kakalat yung virus. So these are all added because um right now ito yung pinakamalaking kalaban talaga ng mundo, the virus. So computers and phones are no longer shared. So before, I have experience from long ago the sharing of stations, like when someone needs to borrow your station or someone needs to use your phone, that's okay, like no big deal. But now, our company has a strict policy that you're not supposed to share stations. And we have avaya phones on our stations, so we can call other departments, and so we were not allowed to share that anymore because of course the transmission of the virus, once we want that um to be minimal. Okay. And of course zero at most. Seating arrangement shall observe 1 meter distancing. So for offices that observe that does on site work, I guess you have seen videos where people where companies, like yung mga station is empty, or if they're not completely empty, people are sitting one seat are being stationed one seat apart, and parang may exam every day, no, one seat apart. So there, is still 1 meter social distancing. Hindi na siya gaya ng dati na pagpihit mo andyan na yung katabi mo, at pag may tatanong ka, well, they're still gonna be available, but you have to louder your voice a little bit or chat, right? Adding acrylic physical barriers in the workstations, canteen seats, and other areas to reduce its risk of spreading the virus. So, if you once you get the job, once you get hired, you will notice that the office looks different as well. Yung mga canteens would have barriers now, and then what do you call this, the area where you can buy food, there will be covers as well, like plastic covers on the upper portion, just to make sure that everyone is prevented from being exposed from each other, because we don't know who's carrying the virus. Some people, some people would say they're asymptomatic or so on, but um well, luckily, these procedures, especially checking people's temperature and health declaration forms, help the companies to ensure now those who are entering the building or the office premises are COVID free. And lastly, you'll notice an avoidance of big group meetings, assemblies, or team building events. So ito yung, I'd be honest with you, I kind of miss team building events. When you got gather outside the work or within work hours, just to have a seminar or do activities. Pero right now, iwas muna tayo sa mga physical activities. So, many companies have shifted to doing different kinds of webinars or support programs that would ensure that they still are in contact with their employees. So, ma-share ko lang, no, for VXI, we just recently had a seminar on mental health, on about mental health, ensuring and improving our mental health. And we had a lot of very interesting and popular guests that helped us to make sure, and that helped us, gave us experiences, ensuring that these are how I have cope up with the COVID-19, and that you're not alone if you're feeling this and that. And these programs are the things that the companies would be doing this time because of the pandemic. So they'll make sure that even virtually they'll be reaching out to their employees. Now, once that you have been hired, or if you're currently right now working, I'd give you a few tips on how to cope on the new normal uh, in the workplace. So number one, ECQ pa din po. ECQ, Enhanced Communication Quality. Communicating kasi po, helps people to express their ideas, feelings, and at the same time help us to understand the emotion of and thought of others. So as a result, it gives you tools to better understand the needs and the goals of your co-employees. So, even if walang team building, even if we're sitting 1 meter apart, there are so many ways that we can reach out to our friends. We have Messenger, we have different media to use. We can call our friends. There is always a need for someone, because people are, or human beings are social beings, or social uh, are inclined to be social. So we need each other to help, to help each other out and make sure everybody's okay, right? So I think one of the challenges that we have experienced is, for example, you're a new hire, and it's already the new normal, no? So once you come in, a lot of parts of your job would be virtual, like such as onboarding. These items will be done virtually, or lesser physical contact. But we make sure that even if you're a new hire at this new normal setup and you don't get to see the whole team all together at one space, we make sure that everyone is in touch and always communicating. And make sure that we are keeping up morale between team members. So it's always a must that we ask, how are you guys today? How are we doing? And offering opportunities to bond. So I just want to share, no, when we started with the pandemic, I think it was March last year, right? So June last year, we realized that we haven't been getting together, our team specifically. So we had like a TikTok challenge between our teammates. It's us sending our TikTok videos or doing live TikToks while on the meeting. So it's just for fun, something to look forward to, and it's an opportunity for us to have an experience apart from just doing our jobs. And those are the things that we have to be creative with as well. And lastly, we have to be agile to adapt. Always be ready to become adjusted to new working conditions. There will always be new tools. There will always be new tasks to be added to make sure that we can still deliver our deliverables, even if we're not physically in the office, or even if we're not physically in contact with each other. Okay, there are so many changes in the world, and this new normal has just uh how do I say it in English? If I can't remember, I'll say it in Tagalog. Pinabilis lang niya on how we can cope up with this. And something that I have realized during this time is that we're all very creative. We will always find ways to cope up with the new normal. So before I finish my presentation, I'd like to leave you a quote. It's not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage. So don't worry, this pandemic season has produced so many solutions to so many things that we thought were impossible. So once you get your job, once you for those who have been working, I know that you have been coping up well, and for those who will be hired soon, good luck. And don't worry, the people that are already there are waiting to welcome you and make sure that you feel that you are part of the organization and still succeed in what we do. Okay, thank you very much, guys, and that's all for my presentation today.
Thank you, Miss Chrissy. So the floor is now open for questions, guys. So first question, ma'am, from Mr. Marv's Rimando. Hi, good afternoon. May I ask if which is the nearest site in Laguna? VXI site po, ma'am.
Thank you so much for asking that. Our nearest site in Laguna is located, sorry, Laguna, right? Our nearest site in Laguna is, we have two sites actually in the south. We have one in MOA and we have one in Makati. So if you're coming from Laguna, our site in MOA is located in Pacific Drive. It's 5 Ecom building, Pacific Drive, Bayshore, MOA complex. And the one is in Makati. You can go through it by bus from Laguna to Buendia MRT station if you're familiar with that place.
All right. So thank you for that, Miss Cressy. Siguro, ma'am, second question ko na lang po. Positions po where they can apply for both fresh grad and experienced employees for BXI po.
Oh, all right. So for our sites in Luzon, we actually have different sites in Luzon. Let me just go through it very quickly. We have sites in Makati and in MOA, which I have mentioned. We have sites in Quezon City, and we also have sites in Clark, Pampanga. So we have openings for customer service and technical supports representatives for all these sites, and for experienced employees, we have openings for our workforce team from supervisor, scheduler, analyst, and we also are looking for data analyst. We also have openings for um, client relations manager, process innovation specialist, real-time analyst, and reports analyst. So these openings are available on our page on VXI PH. So just check our Facebook page. If you're interested to apply, send us a message so that we can accommodate you right away.
Thank you for that, Miss Cressy. All right. So any more questions from you people? Wala na ba tayong tanong for Miss Cressy? All right. So, ma'am, again, on behalf of jobsrank.com and Lyceum Northwestern University, we'd like to thank you for lending us your time for this afternoon. So, we hope po that we can invite you again in future sessions po for other schools. So, again, Miss Cressy, thank you po for your time with us this afternoon. Guys, if you want to
Definitely.
check
Thank
out
you so much.
vacancies, if you want to check out vacancies for VXI Global, it's the one flashing on your screen. So it's jobstraining.com/VXI. So kung hindi pa kayo nakagraduate or kung naghahanap na kayong trabaho, you can search for vacancies, you can search for positions, research na kayo as early as now kung ano yung mga positions na pwede nyo applyan after nyong mag-graduate. Alright? So to officially close our session for this afternoon, may we invite Dr. Eugene Reyes, CSASS, Vice President for Student Affairs and Alumni Relations, to give us the closing remarks. Sorry, evaluation link is here, so we'll post it in the comment section. So closing remarks mamaya. Ay, Sir Eugene muna. Ayan.
Good day to all graduating students of batch 2021. At this early, I would like to extend my congratulations to each one of you, for soon you will be a graduate from your chosen program and commence another chapter of your lives. What we are doing today is just a reminder and an enhancement of how you will present yourselves, not only as a perfect candidate for the position in the world of work, but a true-blooded Lyceans that has a heart to lead. Be a leader positively in all your ways, and always make the best of what you have and what you can do in every job situation you are in. Lastly, in spite of being a graduate from a pandemic situation, prove yourselves to be a worthy applicant and alumni of this university. That such situation was taken as a challenge that made you a better individuals. Be an excelsior. Good day and God bless us all.
So thank you for that, Dr. Reyes. So guys, to make sure that you guys have completed your attendance, we'd like you to evaluate this event. So this is the link on your screen. So we will also post it in the comment section para maklik nyo. So we'd like to thank you guys for giving us the time for this event, and we hope you learned something new. And to plug our sponsor for this afternoon, we'd like to thank CEO Group for being one of our corporate sponsors. Thank you. You can check out you can check them out at the CEO store in Lazada and Shopee, or at the nearest mall in your area to shop for your corporate attire needs. So for career opportunities, you can go to jobstraining.com/CEO Group. So please watch out for the next set of webinars that we are hosting for next week. So we will be posting the details and the topics next week. I Oo, tama. Next week doon sa aming Facebook page. Tapos check nyo yung mga topics kung gusto nyo yung topic. Pwede kayong umattend, mag-watch ng mga webinars na yon, and mag-learn para sa mga ibang speakers naman na in-invite namin. Alright? Thank you so much for your time. See you and